are back. It is Tuesday, and we just watched the rankings. Now, I have to warn everybody, I didn't release the Sunday show yet. It's been really crazy. I want to add some footage from us going to UCLA, but we will get there. Don't worry. Don't worry.
And speaking of, go ahead.
I know. We talking about playoffs. We ain't talking about UCLA today.
Okay. We're talking about playoffs, and we're trying to watch the show, which we've got only about 10 minutes of, and we kind of scrabbled around to try to get some more information. We know what the top 25 is. That's all I can tell you.
We watched the whole show. I don't know why
it's not a whole show.
We watched the whole show. Every week you do this. We know once basketball season starts, they only can squeeze it in when they squeeze it in. I think we got more this week than we got last week, but that's okay. That is what we're here for. We are here to fill the void. Okay. First things first, not much changed.
No.
Right? 1 through 5 stayed the same. Now, I think we should start top to bottom unless you feel otherwise.
No.
Okay, good.
Top to bottom is what we want. We don't want the bottom.
Who cares about the bottom? The top is where we're at.
The top is where we're at.
So the only change was 1 through 5 stayed the same. Ohio State, Indiana, Texas A&M, Georgia,
right.
Texas Tech.
Right.
But this week, Oregon jumps Ole Miss after the big win against USC,
yes.
which I said well deserved.
What was USC? But they were 15.
You don't think they deserved? That was a big win. That was a ranked team.
Okay. Yeah, this was a ranked team.
Okay, you're not giving them kudos. Okay. And so then the only other change wasn't until 15, which brings me to my first point. Why did Michigan jump 3 spaces for beating Maryland?
I don't know.
That makes no sense. Who's in that room? Like
I'm with you on that one. I don't know where they're going.
Now you know how I feel about Texas. I do not think Texas is that good. But Texas played an unranked team at home. Well, I guess you played an unranked Maryland on the road. I still don't think that warranted you to jump freaking 3 spaces.
I don't either.
Well, USC did lose. That was a hindrance.
That because remember we always say the only reason they go up is because somebody
not
comes
always.
Down.
That's not the only reason they go up. That's not true. But I don't think they deserve to jump Texas. That's just my opinion. And like I said, I'm not even a fan of Texas.
Well, I don't know what they were looking at. Maryland was 4-6. Arkansas was 2-8. So maybe
better team.
So maybe they played a better
on the
team,
road,
right?
I don't know. I think everybody could stay where they were.
Yeah, it just maybe that's what they were looking at.
I think they trying to go for the headline. It's rivalry week.
It is.
Oh my God, I said the N word. I have to beep it out.
Well, bleep it out.
It's rivalry week. I think they're trying to hype it up. Ohio State goes to that team up north to play the biggest rivalry of all sports, and I think that the hype is going to be unwarranted in the best way for Ohio State, but. Other thing that was a big topic is Miami versus Notre Dame.
I didn't get that either. I don't even know how Miami jumped Utah. Because to me, Miami played Virginia Tech, which was 3-7. Utah played Kansas State, which was 5-5. I don't know what the committee's looking at. I'm not on the committee. They didn't invite me there. So.
Well, Utah's ranked 12. And they struggled against Kansas State. So
that was true. That was true. They came from behind.
There is that part. Yes. And were they at home?
I think they were. I think they were at home.
You struggled at home against a 5-5 Kansas State. I don't know if I can give you. I think that made sense. But no, the reason they're going head to head with Miami and Notre Dame is because as of today, Notre Dame is a better team than Miami. Both teams have 2 losses, but Miami beat Notre Dame week 1.
Yes.
So the thing is like the pseudo argument is, will that be a factor? And if it is a factor, because Miami's on a bubble, or does Notre Dame deserve to be number 9 and Miami deserve to be number 15? They were talking about going to see their opponents in common and how they beat them. But I don't think you need to do that. I think the commentator for ESPN Booger's wrong. I don't think you just go watch the tape from that from that game. I think
King.
Notre Dame is a different team from week 2 to today, and Miami had a lull in there in the middle. They went down, got worse, and now they're coming back to be the team they were the first few weeks of the season.
That's what we've seen. They're up and down though.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think the committee likes consistency.
Yeah, they do. Well, true.
That's
true,
why
true,
I think
true.
sometimes you know how me and you are like, but they didn't even beat them by much, or such and such did this better. But it's like, no, they like the consistency. Who has played the same, looked whole, like a whole team the whole time. This is why we not moving Georgia above, my Texas A&M or whoever the case may be. Who does say Georgia should be above? Don't worry about it. Okay.
Their argument was, to me, it doesn't matter, does it? Because, like you say,
as far as what goes,
if the top highest ranked teams go into the top 12, would it really matter?
What do you mean?
Miami's currently.
No, Miami won't make it. They'll be knocked out.
I was going to say they're 12.
They're on the bubble, though, remember. Because of the 5 division champions. And right now...
They can't even play in the championship.
Right now, which I want to get to, so we won't spoil it. But
okay.
As of right now, the top 10 does not contain an ACC team.
No, they do not. That's the whole argument back and forth right now.
Exactly. So it only contains one Big 12 team, a few Big 10 teams, and some SEC teams, and an independent. So technically, you only have 3 conferences represented in the top 10.
Yeah.
But 5 conference champions get to go in the 12-team seeding. And one of them will not be Miami. Because Miami, as of this point, is not likely to go to the ACC championship. They would need a lot of people to lose and are very unlikely to lose.
And that's another thing they brought up. If they go out and just do their job, it's going to be really hard for Miami to move up.
Even regardless. I completely agree. I completely agree with them. I think they're right on that.
Nobody's going to go on the rivalry week thinking they're going to lose. They're going to the rivalry week, especially if they're ranked, wanting to win.
Well, and I think there's not, outside of some crazy, miracle, who is actually likely to beat a team ahead of Miami and actually affect change? Is Texas going to beat Texas A&M? Is that team up north going to beat Ohio State? Is Purdue going to be? I didn't even think if Purdue beats Indiana, I think they still go to the Big Ten. I mean, I don't know. That's a weird one. I just don't think there's any probability of these people losing, and even miraculously one of them lose, 2 of them ain't gonna lose, and it's just not gonna. It's the same for Michigan. I just don't think it's gonna, or the team of North. I don't think it's gonna magically happen. It's too much. It's clogging them up. They talked about 8, 9, and 10. They're all 2-loss teams.
9 and 2.
Yeah, and then they all have a similar strength of resume. So it's just like, you need to get to your conference championship.
Right.
No, first things first, you need to win and be consistent all season. That's the first rule to trying to get to the playoffs.
True.
Rule number 2 is, because sometimes we know your schedules gets a little bit tough, your goal is to at least beat the people in your conference so you can get to your conference championship and hopefully win. That is it. That is it. This praying for the bubble.
You make it sound easy, but it's not.
Yeah, and the only people I'll give the pass to is Notre Dame, because they don't have a conference. So they do have to pray on it, and they shouldn't have had 2 losses.
Well, one is probably 2 big losses though, but 2 good teams.
Miami. I'll give you Texas
and Texas A&M.
I'll give you Texas A&M. Miami has lost to some silly people.
But at the time that they played Miami, which of course we can't go into that time, they were number what?
It was week 1, so it doesn't matter. It was ranked and they were in Miami. We get it. But Notre Dame, again, has improved and stayed consistent. Miami dropped down. You don't know which Carson Beck's going to show up. You don't know what they calling. It's crazy. So.
Then.
Oh.
I'm so sorry.
No, don't be.
I was trying to take it all in. Then we jumped and. Confused me. They're asking the AD, what do they call him? The director?
Commissioner,
The
I think,
commissioner.
of the
They asked the
committee.
commissioner. I think he asked the commissioner 4 different questions all in one, and it was surrounding Lane Kiffin for Ole Miss.
Okay, that
Lane
was
Kiffin
going to
is
be
the coach.
yes.
Ole Miss is ranked. What did we say? Number 9.
Yes. No, that's wrong.
I got.
They're
sorry,
7.
7.
Yes.
And I missed this, and I said I wish I could watch it again.
Well, you can.
What is the point he was trying to make? He said the committee will consider also something about
No,
the
I think.
coach not being there at the game.
Well, okay, so here's the deal. Lane Kiffin is being heavily recruited by a lot of schools. And initially he said he was going to stay in Oxford. And then now the headline is he's going to make a decision after the Egg Bowl, which is the game this Saturday. With that, everybody's speculating, including yours truly, that he's likely going to leave Ole Miss. You weren't going to leave, you say you're not leaving. Why would you cause all this turmoil around your team if you were going to stay? So it's likely he's going to leave. The thing is if Lane Kiffin makes this decision, how are y'all going to rate Ole Miss? Are y'all going to place Ole Miss, or will it be similar to a few years back when Florida State lost their quarterback? And what the commissioner was saying is we'd have to see the team play without a coach. However, I would be very curious why Lane wouldn't stay through conference and playoffs.
I don't see it thinking.
It would depend where he would. I mean, in the likelihood is he's going to Florida. Florida is not in the conversation. They don't need you right now. It's over with. So why wouldn't he coach it all the way out? And I think that's kind of what the commissioner was saying. It's like, why would I count Ole Miss out when A, we don't know what he's going to decide, and B, we don't know the terms of the deal if he decides to leave.
Right.
Which brings me to North Texas, who is kind of in the conversation. Not in the conversation, but they are part of the mix, and we'll get to that. But their coach just took a job with Oklahoma State.
They were.
We'll talk about North Texas because I want to talk to you about
the group of 5. Were they not?
They are in the group of 5, the G5, and I wanted to talk to you about the teams who are at the top of their division right now and who are likely to go to the conference championship game. And let's start with the group of 5. Now, the best one I think we have to go by is the American Conference. None of the non-Power 4 conferences have a ranked team. So it's very unlikely that those teams are in the conversation. But the top 2 teams in the American Conference is ranked number 24 Tulane, who's 6-1 in the conference. Right. And also 6-1 in the American Conference is
North Texas. But they're not in this conversation.
Well, they're in our conversation because North Texas can very well beat Tulane. Have they played?
You know what? I don't know who the American... No, I have... No. If they played tomorrow, it would be North Texas versus Tulane.
That's what I'm saying right now.
Oh, okay. That's what you were saying.
Yeah, that's what I want to discuss with you right now is kind of these 2 top teams and in the conference. And
Tulane lost to Ole Miss and UTSA.
Doesn't matter. Ole Miss isn't in their conference.
That is true.
Doesn't matter. I'm only talking conference.
Conference right now.
You were supposed to check if it matters. What do they do outside of conference?
No. Okay. You said
you didn't look it up.
No, they don't. I did. What do you mean? What they do outside of?
What if you got 3 teams that are 6-1 in a conference and didn't play each other?
Oh, and didn't play each other?
What's the deciding factor? Yeah, in a regular season.
I don't know.
Okay, you're supposed to look it up. That's why I told you to look it up.
I did not look it up.
I know you did.
Telling me to look it up.
Well, let's
I
roll
was not
the tape.
doing that assignment.
Roll the tape. Okay, we're not gonna rotate, but I bet if y'all go back and watch the show, I asked her to look it up. I knew maybe we're offline. Okay, so that's kind of a tumultuous situation because as of right now, because they're ranked 24, they've got Tulane as the placeholder for the 12th seeded team, not ranked, seeded team for the playoffs. Okay. Which the other controversy is the ACC. Right now, they have Miami seeded 11, but they're very clear that it will not likely be Miami. Because top in the ACC is number 18 Virginia, 6-1. All teams are 6-1. Pittsburgh's ranked 22 and SMU. So who plays who?
God, this is just ridiculous.
And they don't play each other this weekend, I don't think. Maybe they can get out of it.
I should have got to go back. I don't think they do because it's rivalry week, and usually they play. Who does Pittsburgh play?
Miami plays Pitt.
Miami plays.
Yes. So hopefully they can beat Pitt. And then who else did I say?
You said
Georgia Tech.
You said Pittsburgh and the ACC.
Yes.
The top three were Virginia, Pittsburgh.
Oh, I'm not even talking Georgia Tech. Wow.
No, you're not talking Georgia Tech.
Okay, Virginia plays Virginia Tech. They're likely to win. Pitt plays Miami. They're likely to lose. SMU, I don't know who SMU plays. But it's obviously not the other two teams, so they wouldn't eliminate each other, is my point.
They would knock each other off.
But we didn't go back and look and see if they already played this season. But anyway, moving on to the Big 12, I think that's a clear and present. Number 5, Texas Tech is 7-1, and number 11, BYU is 7-1. The next team has 2 losses.
Yeah.
So they're likely to play. And then SEC, number 3, Texas A&M, who's undefeated, and they play Texas this weekend. And then number 4, Georgia, who's 7-1.
And they played Georgia Tech.
They play Georgia Tech this weekend.
What did Georgia Tech end up this week?
Which was still raises the question.
God, they felt.
But it still raises the question. Who goes? Texas A&M wins out. Fine, they're in there. Who goes, Georgia or Alabama? Alabama beat Georgia.
That's true. Ole Miss beat Georgia. Ole Miss lost to Georgia. Georgia, Alabama.
I don't care about Ole Miss. I care about Texas A&M.
All right, I don't know.
Georgia and Alabama.
I don't know.
Oh, you care about Ole Miss because they got 1 loss?
No, I was looking at this. I was looking at these.
Yeah, they got 1 loss. But see, Ole Miss plays Mississippi State this weekend, which is, I don't know. That the SEC is kind of up it for grabs than that, now that you say that. And the only reason I wrote down Georgia is because they already have the 7 wins, and Georgia Tech is non-conference. So, well, it's crazy. And then, of course, the Big Ten, which should be inevitable. It should be number 2 Indiana, who's undefeated, against number 1 Ohio State, who's undefeated. So that one, to me, is really the only one that's looked like it's the clearest path without jinxing anything this weekend.
Without jinxing anything.
Yeah.
My path is just to wait till next week and see what happens.
You know what?
That is my path. I am just tired of it all already. I just need to talk. You tell me who's gonna go. That's all I want to know.
I'm glad you brought that up because
let's just get these games over with.
December 2nd is Selection Day.
Oh, that's true.
Yes or no?
Yeah.
No, it's not.
I don't even know when Selection Day is. I've just been trying to keep up with the top 25.
We don't even care about the top 25.
Well, the top 10.
For real. Let's be for real.
The top 10. The top, 12?
Okay.
And who they play. And if they win or not.
Well, we will definitely be back on Tuesday because there is another ranking show on December 2nd. But Selection Day is December 7th because you have to wait until Conference Champions.
Yes.
But Conference Champions don't play the week right after, do they?
I thought the conference.
Do they play on the 6th? They do play on the 6th.
Ooh,
and then they'll choose on Sunday the 7th, Selection Sunday. Yes. And then Army Navy game is after. I thought it was in between. Yeah, so we have to have the conference games on December 6th and then the final show. But we got another show of just speculation. You got a little bit left in you?
I got nothing.
Okay, well, you're going to still show up again on Tuesday, but we will be here first on Sunday. And everybody enjoy your week of however you celebrate it, as long as you don't celebrate it for slaughtering the indigenous people of Turtle Island. And I am Kelly, like the color.
I'm Gee, like the bottom.
And this is Saturday Hangover. Like, subscribe. We're going to see y'all on Sunday. And gobble, gobble.
Adios, amigos.